This is Bill from SuperMap International. And now you are very welcome to join with me to take a look at the latest progress of SuperMap GIS plus game engine. Okay, so there will be three contents in my presentation. First part is talking about the mutual improvement of 3D GIS and the game engine. Second part, I will introduce to you about the development of SuperMap Hi-Fi 3D SDKs. And the third part, I will introduce to you about the development of 3D Hi-Fi GIS product. Okay, so let's take a look at the first part, which is the mutual improvement of 3D GIS and the game engine. So when we are talking about the integration of the 3D GIS and the game engine, then you must be curious that what can 3D GIS do, or what can game engine do to each other and to improve the effect? So in one word, for 3D GIS, it's able to provide the geospatial data with the real geographical coordinates in the S3M standard to the game engine. And for game engine, it can provide the realism and the immersion to the 3D GIS. So together, they can give us the digital twins and the metaverse and any other things we can imagine. And then what did the 3D GIS do and what did the game engine do? First part, for the 3D GIS, of course, it provided the data, the geological data, and also the functions about the spatial analyzing, all the GIS functions. And third one is the analyzing performance and also the data carrying performance. And then for the game engine, it provided to this corporation of its capability from the beautification. So this is from the game engine. Then together, they will bring us a very powerful tool to build the modeling and then to fulfill the mutual improvement. Okay, so next part, let's take a look at the development of SuperMap Hi-Fi 3D SDKs. Okay, and before, in the previous versions, SuperMap has released our products called the SuperMap 3D GIS plugin for game engine. And we believe that it is not enough for the powerful usage. So from the 11i, SuperMap has provided us with a new product or new SDK. It's called SuperMap Hi-Fi 3D SDKs. And of course, this SDK is available for both UE and Unity. And let's take a look at the evolution of the SuperMap Hi-Fi 3D SDKs technology. First of all, in 2020 to 2021, SuperMap released the plugin for UE4 and Unity. And then in 2022, we already released the version for the UE5. And of course, in the future, SuperMap is looking for more cooperation with more engines. Then first part, let's take a look about the SuperMap Hi-Fi 3D SDK for Unreal or for UE. Okay, first of all, I would love to introduce to you about this thing, that the SuperMap Hi-Fi 3D SDK basic version has been uploaded to the UE marketplace. And it's a good news that since we published this one in 2021, about April 8th, up to now, it has been fulfilled more than 70,000 downloads. And if you have your interest, just feel free to download it from the UE marketplace too. And this is the evolution of SuperMap Hi-Fi 3D SDK for Unreal. In 2020 to 2021, it provided us with the 3D GIS development kit for UE4. And then in 2021 and 2022, it gave us the 3D GIS development kit for the UE5. And now it's coming with a total new name called the 3D Scene Browsing Software with UE5. Okay, so what did SuperMap do with Unreal to give more capabilities? First one, it will be more access capabilities of the 3D GIS data. And speaking of the 3D GIS data, the first one, of course, we are talking about the models. Okay, so this is what SuperMap has done to improve the capability together with UE. First, we did the support large world coordinates of UE5 to improve the rendering accuracy of the large scenes. And second part, we did to support the geometrical comparison. And also we did something about to optimize the scheduling strategy of S3M layers and terrain or image layers. And last one is to solve the problem of 3D scene roaming jam. And by doing all these things, we have fulfilled to reduce more than 50% of the memory usage. Saving more than 50% of the memory usage, and maybe 1 or 3 times loading performance. And this is the result for doing all the works. For the fine model, the loading speed is increased by 40%. For the beam models, the loading speed is increased by 30%, and also in the same time, the frame rate is increased by 15 frames. For the oblique photogrammetry model, the loading speed is increased by 2 times, and the frame rate is increased by maybe 10 frames. And for the terrain image, the loading is doubled, and the frame rate is full. So saying maybe it cannot make you believe, I'm going to show you something. For example, this video, it shows you a beam data which has more than 60 million triangles. You may see the viewing and loading is very smooth and fast, and maybe it's a little pity that due to the connection of the internet issue, you cannot see the view from my side. But I can guarantee to you that the rendering and all the loading is very fast and smooth. So if possible, you can just feel free to try all these things with your own data and witness by your own eyes. Okay, so that part is about the 3D models in game engine. And of course, there will be the capability to access to more 3D geographical data, like to support the real-time raster rendering of images and vector data, and also to support the OGC services, such as the WMTS or WMS, which is very popular. And also, it supports the KML layers. So this has solved the number limitation of image layer loading. Okay, so for example, this is a video showing you the loading about terrain data. And of course, there are a lot of more data format is supported. So let's say, just feel free to try by yourselves and feel free to talk with us about your ideas. Okay, so that is about the data part. Next part, we will go into the functions. So for this SDK, it's provided with more JS functions. And I believe that the old friends of SuperMap has been very familiar with this chart about the SuperMap 3D JS spatial analysis functions. And if you are a new friend to us, it's also okay. You can just try to use all these functions, and I can guarantee to you that this is very impressive, and you will fulfill with it. Okay. For example, this is a video showing you some functions in the game engine SDK provided by the game engine SDK, like the wheel shade analysis, the openness analysis, all the 3D spatial analysis. And of course, not only the 3D spatial analysis can be done, also you can do the layer operations and the interactions. For example, this is a very interesting function that you can use this tool or this function to just hide or show one single 3D model by just clicking, or just dig out the hole on the ground and to see the pipelines under and all the informations under. And of course, all these things will be very useful in your real projects. Okay? Yeah, so next part, let's talk about how to beautify the 3D JS data. We all understand that it is a very important reason for SuperMap to try to integrate with the game engine, because when we were extending our business, we received a lot of questions from the customer. Is they think our function is very good, but maybe the 3D model or the 3D scene is not as beautiful as they want. So now we have this solution to use the game engine to beautify the 3D GIS data and to make you very happy. For example, this one is the wet model. You may see this is a very traditional 3D model or wet model in the GIS. So it's not so beautiful. But if we use the S3M data fast mapping into material, in the game engine, you can see after we put the material on the model, it has been looked into a total different way. And I believe it's much more beautiful than before. And also, not only for the web model, but also for the beam data, it's also the same. We can see that for the normal beam data, in order to make it useful and to just make sure people understand the usage of each model, it has the very popular color for each of the objects. It's useful, but it's not so pretty. Then with this technology, the S3M data fast mapping into the material in game engine, you can see that after you put all the material from the game engine into the beam data, the data looks much more beautiful and much more like the same in the real world. And of course, for the oblique photogrammetry, we can also do the same thing. Because we know that the oblique photogrammetry is generated from something like the pictures, so it looks like the real world. But if we come to the net view, the oblique photogrammetry, the normal ones, cannot show us the very beautiful thing. But with this assign material functions through the mask texture to all the oblique photogrammetry models, we can see that even in a night view, it can also be look very clear and very beautiful or even very real as our daily life. Okay, so that is about the Beautify for the 3D GIS from the game engine. And last part about the Unreal Engine, I will show you about something like 3D GIS plus the physical engine. Because we know that if you play the computer games, a lot of very big games, they use the physical engine to make their scenes look more real to the real world. So SuperMap, we are trying to use the physical engines provided by the game engine too to make our 3D scene very beautiful and in a very real and very real situation. So you can see the water here, the dam here, all the flows just look maybe as same as the real world. Okay, so last part I described to you about the SuperMap integration with Unreal, or name is the SuperMap 3D Hi-Fi SDK for Unreal. And next part I will take you to take a look at the SuperMap 3D Hi-Fi SDK for Unity. And before I talk about the Unity, I need to inform you is for all the functions fulfilled in Unreal, they are also fulfilled in Unity too. So maybe here I will hide the similar things and just show you the unique things. Okay, of course, first of all, I will show you the evolution of SuperMap Hi-Fi 3D SDK for the Unity. In 2020 and 2021, we published the SDK with the capability of normal render pipeline. And then in 2022, we provide to you about the universal render pipelines. And in the future, we plan to do the high definition render pipelines. And of course, it will be fulfilled, I believe. Okay, so this is a picture. It's the same picture about the spatial analysis functions. So you can see all the functions is quite same and quite familiar with the Unreal parts. So you can feel free to try by yourselves. And you may say this is a video too to show you some functions in the Unity engine, like the flying management and the 3D openness management or openness spatial analysis, and also the view shade analysis. It's etc. It's all the same. Okay. So here I will show you something unique in Unity engine only. I mean, at this moment. So for example, we can see here is the screenshot of a SuperMap desktop software. When you put the attribute, I mean, you put the resource paths of the Unity into the data, like 3D points, lines, and planes. You put all the resource paths into the attributes, then you import this data into Unity.
This information.
Yes, you can see that after you import the data into Unity, it can automatically use the resource paths from the attribute chart to automatically build the 3D model according to your need. So this is a very useful function, and it can help you to build the 3D model. I mean, a very big range of 3D model in very fast speed and very high efficient. Okay. So just now I was always talking about using the SDK to develop a desktop software or desktop application. So is it possible to develop a web application? And the answer, of course, is yes. So this is how to publish to the web using the pixel streaming in the Unreal. So first of all, you can combine the Unreal 4 and 4 or 5 in together with the SuperMap Hi-Fi 3D SDK. Then you package them into a exe file, and then you start the server and to do the pixel stream. Then you can just view to the web browser to connect to the exe file. And the result is you will get the published data service, and then you can use the JavaScript APIs to develop the applications basic on the web. And of course, this API is open source. First, for example, this is some examples of the cloud rendering and GIS functions in web. It's all the same, like the view shade, openness, and the measurement functions. So you can feel free to develop all these functions with the the published service and with the APIs we provide to you. Okay, and next part, we have another way to publish the service to web, which is called the WASM, and this one is used in Unity. First of all, you combine the Unity with the SuperMap Hi-Fi 3D SDK, then to finish some cross compile to the WASM, then you start the server and publish your data. Then you will use your data services published and develop some applications with the APIs we provide to you. And of course, the pixel streaming is also available in the Unity, and the operation is quite same. And here is one very interesting thing in the Unity. We can see that in Unity software, it has already integrated with this function to directly publish the WebGL service to the GIS server. So you can see you can directly operate this in the Unity, and then the published services will be in the GIS server directly. So it's also very convenient to use. And I have to mention that the JavaScript API for open source it's already open sourced in the GitHub. However, at this moment, it has only Chinese version, but our engineers are trying their best to give us the English version as soon as possible. So I believe in the very in the very near future, you are able to download this API from the GitHub and try to develop the application for yourself. Okay, so here come to the last part of my presentation. It will be the development of 3D Hi-Fi GIS product. Okay, so you see in the previous version of SuperMap products, we have the 3D geometrical scene high fidelity rendering SDK. But at this day and at this moment, we have published a new product. It's called SuperMap Explorer 3D, and also it's mentioned in Dr. Song's presentation too. So here is some screenshots of these products or this software. You can see it can direct load the real 3D data, and also it can do the large scene carrying capacity. Also, it has the quickly adjust environmental parameters, also to support the cloud ranging. And of course, you can just feel free to get this software and try by yourselves, use your own data to see the capabilities. So in one word, about iExplorer 3D, it has some capabilities like complete local multi-source GIS data or online services access capability, and also to complete GIS data processing processes, and also to carrying capacity of city-level large scenes. Also, it has the efficient GIS data beautification scheme, and also it's easier to use product technology. Okay, and here I can show you some real cases we have done with the iExplorer 3D. It has been used in power industry, seeing natural resources, real 3D. So to see if you have your real projects or even you have your ideas to use this kind of technology, just do not hesitate to contact with our engineers or our people. Okay, so this is the implementation scheme of the SuperMap GIS plus game engine. First part, of course, is the data. We support multi-source data access like the beam, all the popular use BIM format or software, we also support them. And also in the GIS-based map data, like oblique photogrammetry, point cloud, fine model, 3D pipeline, terrain image, vector, point, line, and plane. Then you can put them into the UDB or post the GIS. And of course, the LOD is processed in this step. And then you put them, it will be adjusted into the S3M standard. Then you can just import them into the game engine, SuperMap 3D Hi-Fi SDK for Unreal or for Unity. And of course, in the future, there will be more and more engines supported by SuperMap. And we are really looking forward to the day that you can feel free to use all the engines provided, integrated with all this technology. And so that's all from my part.